Hello, this is Timothy Perfect from Twocanoes Software, and I want to show you a basic setup of MDS, MDS 3, that goes through installing macOS, packages, scripts, profiles, enrolling in MDM, installing Munki and the Munki client, as well as MunkiReport. Munki is for package management and also a self-service kind of type application called Managed Software Center. And then MunkiReport is for inventory, so you can find out information about your fleet. So let's jump in and get started. First thing I did was I created a folder on my desktop called Resources. And in here I made folders for the items that we'll need. I've already populated some of them. So we have a macOS where we put the macOS installer, packages where we're going to have some packages that need to be installed. I have Microsoft Office and Google Chrome and those kind of things in there, and I'll go through that in a little bit. I have some profiles installed, mainly the one to enroll in MDM, and some scripts to do some initial configuration. So the first thing we'll do is we'll open up MDS and get it set up, and it is configured to kind of walk you through what you need to do. So the first thing you do is you need to create an SSL certificate. So I'll click on Create Certificate. This encrypts the traffic between the client and the MDS server. And so you can use your own, if you have your infrastructure, to be able to generate a certificate from a known authority. You can input that as well. Works fine with a self-signed certificate as well. So I'll click on Create Self-Signed Certificate. My host name is mdscentral.local, so that looks fine. So I'll just click on Create, and now it's created. So one thing that's new in MDS 3 is we no longer require you to trust in the keychain. It's automatically trusted in the system keychain. So that's a nice little addition. You can see that the overall UI is more server-based now. Services start automatically when the Mac starts up, and they continue running even if you quit MDS. A couple of services that we're going to start. We have Munki, which lets you do package management. So I'll unlock the lock here, and I'll start Munki. And it says that it needs to start the web service as well, which is now we have a built-in web service. And so now you can see there's a green indicator saying that it's started. And we'll start up MunkiReport. So starting up MunkiReport, MunkiReport's now started up. We can go to the users and create. I've already gone in and created an admin user, but if you wanted to hit plus, you can create another user for MunkiReport. MunkiReport is through a web interface. So if I were to go to the web interface, you can see I can log in to the web interface and start managing these or trying to see the reports. So now we've got MunkiReport and Munki set up, ready to go. That was relatively easy. Next thing we need to do is download macOS. And so there's built-in a downloader inside of MDS. So if you click on download macOS, it shows all of the current versions. You can choose which catalog you want. We're going to stick with the production one, and we'll go with 10.15.4. If I click on download, it'll specify where do you want to specify to download. And so we just choose a folder and download that version of macOS in it. Since it takes a while, I've already downloaded it ahead of time. So if we look inside of the resources, you can see that in macOS, I've already downloaded the install macOS Catalina. Let's look into some of these other folders too. At the resources I have, I'm going to install Firefox as a package. I've actually, let's get rid of these packages, but now I have Firefox as a package. I have Google Chrome as just an application. MDS will automatically package that up and sign it. Microsoft Office is going to be installed as well, and Munki Tools, which will install the Munki Tools to be able to install the client on Munki. We have a couple of profiles. We have Jamf enrollment and the CA certificate that's required to install it. And then I have a couple of scripts. One of them is set the desktop background to this TCU background, and set a acceptable use policy, which is in this RTF here, which basically will show that they have to agree to that agreement before they use the computer. So that's just combining the resources. Now we actually need to create a workflow. So we'll go into workflows. Oh, before I do that, we do want to enable package signing. So one of the things that we can do is sign these packages. It's not required, but a good idea. So we'll select a certificate to sign these packages, and we'll skip the signing if the package has already been signed. So like the Microsoft Office one is signed by Microsoft, so we don't need to re-sign that. Now that that's done, we can go in and create a workflow. So this workflow is called Catalina plus packages plus MDM, and we'll say Jamf, plus scripts. And we do an MDM scripts for desktop and Firefox, Chrome, Office, and Munki plus MunkiReport. All right, so now we can kind of describe it. When the person is running the workflow, they'll be able to see what this workflow does, so it's great to put a description. For macOS, we just go ahead and select that macOS installer, which we downloaded. We do want to erase and install it, and we want to rename the volume to Mach 5. And the rest of the options we can just leave default. Under resource sources, I will select the package folder that I created in that same folder. So under packages, I click OK, and you can see it gives a pop-up. This allows me to change the order. So if I wanted Firefox to be installed after Microsoft Office, or Office to be installed last, I can rearrange them. I can even move Firefox to be installed when running the workflow. That's from the recovery partition, but I don't need to do that. But I also make it when the user first logs in. So if you have a package that requires a user to be logged in, you can specify that. These are all relatively performing or well created packages, so I can just leave them after the Mac OS installation happens. For scripts, I'll select the script folder, and that has all the scripts. And again, I can rearrange these to do it after the Mac OS is installed, but before packages, after packages, or when running workflow. Again, I'll just leave those to the default because that's fine. And profiles is for enrolling in MDM, so I'll choose my profiles. There we go. Easy enough. And then after running the workflow, we'll just leave it as it is. I do want to create a user. This is a user for login. I usually call one TC admin. And I can show the password. I'll select the password Twocanoes, and I'll allow it to be an administrator. So this administrator account will be created. You can create as many user accounts as you want, and they'll be created when the workflow, when the Mac has been finished set up. We do need to join the Wi-Fi so that it can be able to enroll in MDM and just be installed. So we'll put in our SSID, and we'll set the computer name. I always like to do M for Macintosh and then the serial number. We do have serial numbers that automatically will fill in the serial number for that machine. There's other ones you can, if you hit here, there's other insertion variables you can put in. We want to trust the server certificate in the system keychain because that's a good idea. So the clients will all trust that self-signed SSL certificate that we had. Skip the setup assistant, enable location services. So skip setup assistant means that it doesn't go through the setup assistant at first install. Since we're already creating a user, we don't need to. The enable location services means that the time zone will be set correctly. So that's why that option's there. And we want to skip the user privacy and location setup. It just skips those prompts when the new user account's created. Then I'll enable SSH and screen sharing because that's the kind of administration I want to have. For Munki, I want to configure the client. Since we're already installed the Munki resources and the Munki server is running here, it automatically filled in. It says I already know what port it's running on, so it fills that in. Very convenient. I don't need to trust the client because I'm using that same certificate as we have for the MDS server, so that's not necessary. Under options, I forgot to do this. Install MunkiReport for inventory. So that'll automatically install the package for installing MunkiReport. So I'll click on OK. Let's fill out the information about right before we in recovery how we want to set up the environment. So the first thing we want to do is when we're getting ready to deploy this machine, we're going to boot into recovery. We want it to connect up to Wi-Fi. So the SSID is again Luna 5. And I'll put my password in. And I don't need to automatically run the workflow, though I could have it automatically run. I'll just select it manually. And I want to send the logging information. So inside of MDS, there's a remote log, which when we turn this on, we'll see the progress as it installs, which is a very nice, handy thing. If you're doing a bunch of machines, you can see the progress, identify any problems. So we have these the workflow's created, we got all the information. So we'll click on Save to Volume. And what I'll do is I'll save this to a HFS Plus volume that I have here. Right here. So I'll plug that in. There we go. I'll select MDS. I've already saved a workflow here, so it'll just update those with the changes. It does prompt me that the Google Chrome app needs to be repackaged, and it'll keep the original and put it into a subfolder. So let me go ahead and say okay with that. So it'll repackage that Google Chrome and then copy it over to the MDS resources. We did turn on signing, so it will sign that package as well. So we'll have a nice signed, well-formed package to install Google Chrome. All right, since it had the old Google Chrome in there before I repackaged it, it's just warning me that it had that, so that's fine. We'll click on OK. If I had an empty drive, it wouldn't have given me that warning. So now that we've saved that, we can look in here inside the MDS drive, and you can see that it has all that. It basically has all the workflow packages and a run script. So what we're going to do is take that USB drive, I'll eject it, and then I'll plug it into a target machine, which I have right here. Okay, I've held down Option. Now I can do Command R. This is a 2018 T2 Mac Mini, though it could be any Mac that you want to install the macOS on. I like using the Mac Mini because it allows me easily capture the output instead of having to worry about mirroring the display with a built-in display. So this makes it easy just to capture it. So I'm waiting for that to install. I will unplug my USB drive. This could just be any thumb drive that you want. Could be, I have this SSD. Speed doesn't really matter. So I'll go ahead and plug this in. When I said speed doesn't really matter, mainly it's because it just the macOS installer will copy it'll copy the installer and the packages and all those kind of things over to the target drive. And so even if you have a slower thumb drive, it will not be all that slow because the read time isn't that, the read speed isn't that slow. And plus it just does a straight copy over and then installs everything after that. So let me go ahead now that it's booted up to recovery. And I will run the workflow. So it's /volume/MDS/run because the run script is on the MDS volume. And you can see as this starts up, and it'll open up the workflow selector as well as open up a log so I can see what's happening. Up in the right-hand corner, you'll see that the Wi-Fi has automatically been connected. So that was one of the things we set up in the workflow. So now all I need to do is select the volume. Currently it's called Mach 5 already. And this is the one, Catalina plus packages plus Jamf plus scripts. And you can see I have the descriptions here. So I will click on Run Workflow. And when that's, what that does is it will erase the volume, install macOS, install the packages, scripts, and enroll in MDM as well as Munki and MicroReport. So we'll let that run. It takes about 20 minutes, and I'll come back and we'll check out the machine after it's done. All right, it is now completed, and you can see from the remote log viewer that it put in the report. So you can see that the StartOS started, it set the computer name, set the desktop background, its policy banner, the CA, enrolled in MDM, enabled SSH. So we got all the details about what it did. So let's look at the actual machine that it's been set up, the Mac Mini. You can see that I have the acceptable use policy. It's here. I skipped the setup assistant. And so now it just goes to that user. So I'll log in as that user. And there we go. We have a fully set up machine. I left the drive still plugged in here, so it's prompting me to do time machine, so I can eject that. All right, so now we got a fully functional, freshly installed macOS 10.15.4 installed, bound MDM, Munki, MunkiReport, everything's all configured. You can see here in profiles that it installed the certificate. The desktop pattern has been, or desktop picture has been installed. Part of the Jamf notification was installed. I would assume that was post MDM. And then I have the MDM profile. It is a user approved MDM, so I'll go ahead and improve it. So the machine is all now set up and enrolled in MDM. The other, we did install some applications, so let's look in the applications folder. We should see there's Microsoft Office Suite is installed. Perfect. We have the Managed Software Center for Munki, so we can install, the user can install their own applications. We should also have Google Chrome and Firefox, and there we go. So I have this fully set up machine enrolled in Munki, MunkiReport, and MDM. So I will open up the, let me go to MunkiReport and sign in as the admin user. And you can see that I have 2 clients installed. So if I go to my client reports, you can see these, we have one that's installed 4 minutes ago. MacBook Pro, oh no, sorry, a few seconds ago, the Mac Mini. So that one's been enrolled in MicroReport. And so now I can go and see what, let's say, storage reports on that Mac Mini is. So we can see the volumes and what they're used. We can see any managed installs, any events that happen. So MunkiReport has a huge number of additional reports to install, but it is enrolled and ready to be get the inventory information as well as push out new packages, and MunkiReport or Munki will be able to keep those packages up to date. It is also enrolled in MDM, so I have full control over the machine. I did turn on SSH and VNC, so if I do, let's see what the host name of this thing is. Oh, let me just do open up terminal, and I'll try to SSH. You can see that's the host name. That's an easy way to find it out. And so then I can do VNC:// and I can do screen sharing to it. And I'll put in that same password, username password. And there I go. Now I'm being able to both SSH and screen share into it, do any final configuration. So thanks very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe below to get notified of more of these videos, as well as give us a like so we know that you like them. And go to Twocanoes.com/MDS to download MDS. It is a free app. And we do have some attractive support options available as well, which we can help you craft packages and workflows and those kind of things. Thanks very much for watching.